Hi, everyone. Harry here to talk about the Department of Justice's decision to substitute itself for Donald Trump in a lawsuit growing out of the 2020 episode that you may recall, in which protesters in Lafayette Square were suddenly just cleared out in order to make room for Trump and Bill Barr in that contrived appearance in front of the church where Trump's Bible is upside down. Okay, I'll get more into the facts, but this is the latest in what I'm sure is a little bit of a confusing kind of set of legal issues that basically have to do or circulate around the question, was Trump or the federal official, this is not a special presidential doctrine, was the person being sued acting within the scope of his or her employment? Was he basically acting like a president here? So, and this is similar to the immunity where the Supreme Court has now promulgated this new test that make courts ask, among other things, is someone in the outer perimeter of their official duties. But whereas that test, again, for the president only, goes to the question of whether they are immune, the whole suit goes away, they cannot be held criminally liable. This goes to whether or not they are personally on the hook or the government is on the hook. So the basic idea, and we've seen this elsewhere with Trump, most notably in the defamation lawsuit involving E. Jean Carroll, where he wanted to say that when he was on the lawn defaming E. Jean Carroll, saying, among other things, she's not my type, he was acting as president. And the law says that if you were acting in the scope of your duties, then the lawsuit is really against the federal government. You were just the person who was doing your job. But in that case, the Department of Justice will come in and A, do the defense and represent, and B, if there is any recovery, it's out of the federal coffers. Also, it might often mean there isn't a federal recovery because sovereign immunity dictates when it can be done and when not. And so, can you see, we have a very similar kind of doctrine, but in different settings. Now, so let's double back for a second. We are in 2020. And there are perfectly valid First Amendment protests happening in Lafayette Square. And really, just like a bunch of, bullies and thugs, except they were DOJ officials, Bill Barr and others Bill Barr supposedly gave the orders, just everyone completely pushed away so that Trump could go and do this public appearance that, it's even arguable whether that was, an appearance based on presidential duties. But that's the fact pattern. And now the legal question becomes, was Trump then acting as president within his official kinds of duties? The court already has found that Bill Barr was. So that meant that the Department of Justice today, this is Merrick Garland's Department of Justice, comes in, and instead of Bill Barr hiring an attorney and Bill Barr being on the hook for money, a DOJ attorney, one of their 10,000, comes to court, represents what is really now a suit against the United States of America, because it may be the conduct of Trump, and Trump may have been sued, but that conduct was him as president, and so the law is that the DOJ steps in. And this, I have to say, he is acting as president. He's walking with his attorney general. He's giving the speech about public order. This is all in the high water mark of the emotional cataclysm of Black Lives Matter. Of course, he's giving really jackass speeches, and of course, complete discarding, just like so many like trash of the protesters. bad stuff. But taking a step back and asking, was Trump doing what presidents do then? Yeah, I think so. And therefore, it makes sense to say that this is really, when you look at it, a suit against the department, the government. Therefore, the Department of Justice will defend it. That's, by the way, night and day from the idea of should Trump be immune had he crossed the line and committed crimes. That wouldn't now be the case, it seems to me, under the Supreme Court ruling, because he's just, dealing with the Supreme Court said in the immunity case, if you're dealing with DOJ, talking investigations, you're immune. I would think it has to be the same marching with your attorney general and talking about a law enforcement situation to the nation. That decision, of course, I think is grievously wrong. But here, to say that he was within the official scope of his duties, and therefore it's really to the DOJ to defend, that strikes me as a straightforward application of an orthodox proposition of law that, I have no objection to. Okay, so we are, again, talking about the different situations where whether or not Trump in particular is being a president or something else, a criminal or a candidate, can matter. It can matter, as we saw before, to remove a case from state court to federal court. And it can matter here for having the Department of Justice take over the case as it has done, and it will now go forward not against Trump personally, but against the federal government and its successors in interest. There are lawsuits sometimes against the, say, an attorney general, but the attorney general in the official capacity. And when administrations change, what had been Smith versus Barr just becomes automatically Smith versus Garland. And that just reflects it's a new person, but standing in for the official conduct of the United States. Therefore, the government represents with the DOJ's litigation resources and, if it comes to it, coffers to pay any judgment. Okay, so Trump off the hook for defending the Lafayette Square outrageous episode. It'll go forward, but with a lot less sort of focus now that Trump is out. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.